movie making is like it's such a fascinating subject because it's like every person has a story in their mind, and how the story translates through a lot of creative process, and how every element changes the way the story can be seen. Like the editor has power in the story, the music producer has power in the story, the story writer, like the one who writes it, the script has power in the story, and the actor has power in how they deliver the line. And ultimately it's a combination of all these different aspects, and all these different humans contribute towards this one unified goal, and then we see the movie. And I also remember you telling me once that if a director manages to translate 70% of his original vision into a actual movie, then he's like on point. But yeah, I don't think everyone manages to do it though. I feel like there are some very few directors who absolutely nail it. Like Quentin Tarantino, I feel like is a good example of someone who really takes control of the whole process. He writes, he edits, and he also directs, so I feel like he has way more control of the process. But yeah, movie making is a very interesting skill set, I would say.
For me, movie making is more of a divine art. That's what I see it as. It just brings me so much joy. Like, we both worked for this movie Scar, right? I
Yes.
worked almost 7 days a week. It was kind of ups and downs there, but the process, getting involved in the process, was for me the best thing. And I've always felt like my ultimate goal in life is to be a movie maker. And you made a good point. Like, there's so much power in movie, and it's, for me, like, one thing is divine art, right? The other thing, I see movie as more of like a good company, right? There's one company
Yeah.
that multiple parts of it, and the CEO heads the thing, and he has to make sure the main vision holds good, and he has to make sure he
Yeah.
delegates work so well to all the different parts, though he knows everything. So for me as a
Yeah.
director, like, I'll talk more about directing, and I think you'll talk more about writing, and then we can bounce off of like ideas for acting and editing and stuff. But for me, when I think of directing, I feel like translating that vision in your head and telling, like, exactly this is what I want for a cameraman, and this is what I want from a musician for background music, and this is what I want from like the editor point of view or art director point of view for the sets. It's pretty mind-boggling. I think a good movie or a good movie director can be a CEO,
Yeah.
or a good company. What do you think?
Oh, I 100% agree. It's because like when I was initially watching a movie, I did not realize the intricacies of what it takes for the movie to be delivered. But I think when we started working on the set, I understood what role everybody plays. And when you're working on a set, you kind of play everybody's role a little bit here and there, especially you, like you are an assistant director in multiple scenes. And I feel like when you step into the role of a scriptwriter, you understand, oh, okay, this is how the script is, so this is how the script can impact the story. And as an assistant director, you kind of command the light of the room, you command the actors, you command how the scene is going to flow. And after you do that once, every other time you watch a movie, you will always have this very interesting take. You don't see any ordinary scene like in the exact same way anymore, because every scene you kind of keep thinking, oh, the this particular director, he put lighting in this particular place, and this particular actor was told to behave in a certain way. And you kind of, it's kind of like maths for me. You kind of see it like a formula, and you kind of look at the different variables that go into a movie. And you actually have a lot of appreciation for how difficult it is to pull it off, to be honest, because the amount of work it takes to pull off a good scene is like, it's like the ceiling is really really high.
Definitely. Like, you like, for me, and I think it's the same for you too. If you don't give me, if I've never watched a movie, right? Say there's a particular movie and you play me a scene, most of the time, like, there are a few directors that I follow. Like, I follow Tarantino, I follow Scorsese, I follow Christopher Nolan, I follow Todd Phillips, I follow Wes Anderson. Like, if you
Yeah.
show, like, say I've never watched a movie, right? And if you show me a scene, I can say this scene was directed by this director just by the
Yes.
process of their storytelling or camera skills or the
Yeah.
writing process, right?